Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we'll be going through NEET PG one-liners from ENT. This is part 4 of the ENT series. If you haven't already, then go through part 1, 2 and 3 from the link above. Most common cause of anterior epistaxis, nose picking. Most common cause of posterior epistaxis, idiopathic. Most common form of sphenoid pneumatization, sellar pneumatization. Which artery does not take part in Kisselbach's plexus? Posterior ethmoidal artery. Which branch of internal carotid artery contributes to Kisselbach's plexus? Anterior ethmoidal artery. Most common site for posterior epistaxis, Woodruff's plexus. Now few points about Kisselbach's plexus or Little's area. It is situated in the anterior-inferior part of nasal septum, and as you can see in the diagram beside, this is from Dhingra. The four arteries involved in Kisselbach's plexus are anterior ethmoidal artery, superior labial artery, sphenopalatine artery, and greater palatine artery. And as we have seen before, the artery not involved is posterior ethmoidal artery. This circle which is shown in Kisselbach's plexus, this is known as Little's area. This is the most common site of anterior epistaxis. Samter's triad includes asthma, polyps, and aspirin intolerance. Apple jelly nodules are seen in lupus vulgaris. This is an image-based question of apple jelly nodules seen in lupus vulgaris. Cartagener's syndrome includes situs inversus, bronchiectasis, and nasal polyps. Strawberry granuloma is seen in rhinosporidiosis. Now few important points on rhinosporidiosis. The organism causing rhinosporidiosis is Rhinosporidium seaberry. And the most important fact to know about this is it is a bacteria and not a fungi. Most common presentation, polypoidal mass. Two important points about this. The polypoidal mass is also known as strawberry granuloma and it bleeds on touch. And the treatment of choice is excision with cautery at base. And this is an image-based question of strawberry granuloma seen in rhinosporidiosis. Now two important points about another infection, rhinoscleroma. It is caused by Klebsiella rhinoscleromatis, which is also known as Fries bacillus. And on histopathology, Mikulicz cell and Russell bodies are seen. This is an image-based question of Russell bodies. Most common benign tumor of paranasal sinus, osteoma. Most common benign tumor of nasal cavity, inverted papilloma, which is also known as Ringer's tumor. Most common facial bone to undergo fracture, nasal bone. Weakest wall of orbit to undergo fracture, floor of orbit. Now coming to few important one-liners from CSF rhinorrhea. Most common cause of CSF rhinorrhea, head injury. Most common site of CSF rhinorrhea, cribriform platform ethmoid. Confirmatory test for CSF rhinorrhea, beta transferrin. Investigation of choice for CSF rhinorrhea, HRCT, nose and paranasal sinus. Gold standard test for CSF rhinorrhea, CT cysternography. And lastly, immediate management for CSF rhinorrhea, it is always wait for 7 to 10 days with antibiotics. If the patient does not improve, then you go for surgical management. But always the first step of management is to wait for 7 to 10 days with antibiotics. So thank you everyone. I have covered 20 important one-liners and few image-based questions along with few important points about certain topics. Please like, share and subscribe to my channel for more such content.